Welcome to the Franklin in 5, your 5-minute rundown of what's news at Franklin College. I'm Eric Bradner.
And I'm Amy Fox. One of our top stories this week took place on Wednesday. 20,000 people attended Democratic hopeful Barack Obama's campaign rally, which was held at the Indianapolis Fairgrounds. Although Indiana has typically been a Republican state, this year Indiana is one of the crucial states in the upcoming general election. Obama focused much of his attention on the economy. He said, "Together we cannot fail, not now, not when we have a crisis to solve and an economy to save." Obama also spoke on health care, which he promoted investing in Medicare and supporting new developments in technology. Tax cuts also made his list of topics. He promised reduced taxes to 95% of Americans. While education plans were discussed, he plans to make it a priority.
The Indiana High School Press Association will host its annual convention here while the college's students are away on fall break. High school journalists, about 550 in all from 40 schools, will be on campus for the two-day event. This year's theme is Convergence. At the Convergention, as it's being called, students will compete in on-site competitions and go through training sessions on a host of topics. They'll also receive awards for the best publications and the best stories of the year. The convention kicks off with check-in Thursday afternoon and wraps up Friday just after lunchtime.
On Tuesday, former U.S. Senator Birch Bayh made an appearance at Franklin College. He spoke in the Henderson Conference Room to campaign for presidential hopeful Barack Obama. Bayh spoke on the war in Iraq, the economy, and the power of the executive branch. Bayh believes that Obama is an excellent candidate for president and encourages everyone to make it to the polls on Election Day.
Indiana's blue laws might be on the way out. More than 10,000 people have signed a petition to overturn rules that prevent stores from selling alcohol on Sundays. The Prohibition-era regulations, called blue laws, exist in only 15 states, including Indiana. Groups backed by grocery stores and gas stations are pushing the state legislature to repeal the blue laws during the next legislative session, which starts in January.
With polls showing that Obama is currently leading, McCain took his staff in advertising out of Michigan. The Michigan decision marked the first time in history McCain or Obama had conceded a traditional battleground state in the race to the White House, with a little bit more than a month remaining. By pulling out, McCain conceded a large part of the electoral map in the heart of the Midwest. While McCain's decision did not go over well with Michigan residents, McCain plans to venture into Indiana in hopes of winning the state.
In features, Franklin College's theater department is now showing its first play of the year. A Midsummer Night's Dream opened this week. The William Shakespeare romantic comedy is on at the Black Box Theater in the Johnson Center for Fine Arts. The play starts tonight and Saturday at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. Read a review of the play's opening night or watch an audio slideshow of the night in the print edition and at TheFranklinOnline.com.
Franklin students will have to adjust to a new parking rule that is now in effect. Students will no longer be able to back into parking spots. Director of Security Steve Leonard said the rule is to prevent students from backing into grass and plants. Sophomore Aaron Long was not so lucky. Long was caught for having his car backed into a parking spot. Long received a warning and then was issued a ticket. Although campus security is lenient on the policy, students are encouraged to follow the rule carefully.
In sports, Franklin College has added men's and women's indoor track and field as an official intercollegiate athletic program, effective this academic year, Athletic Director Gary Prather announced Wednesday. The indoor track competitive schedule begins in early January and ends with the NCAA national meets in mid-March.
After losing its best player ever to graduation, the women's golf team is trying to make it back to nationals for the second year in a row. Head coach Roger Lundy said the team's 11 women are all averaging scores of less than 100. 4 Franklin alumni were inducted into the college's Hall of Fame this week. Jane Betts, Al Horantz, Jeff Lewis, and Don Orlasky were honored at a banquet held on Thursday. Check the print edition and TheFranklinOnline.com to read biographies on each of them and see what the athletic contributions they made to the Franklin College.
On Saturday, the women's tennis team starts conference championship play at the West Indy Racket Club at 9 a.m. The women's golf team is also playing the conference championships, which start at 11 in Terre Haute. The men's soccer team takes on Spalding at home at 1, followed by the women's team against Spalding at 3:30. And the football team travels to Bluffton for a game at 1:30 p.m.
That's a wrap.
Check back next week for another edition of the Franklin in 5. I'm Eric Bradner.
And I'm Amy Fox.